In example 1, we want to go ahead and find the foci of our hyperbola. 9x squared minus y squared minus 72x plus 135 equal to 0. In order to do that, we need to go ahead and put it in standard form. So we're going to group together our x's, then we're going to get our y squared by itself, and we're going to move this 135 over to the other side by subtracting it. As I group together my x's, I'm going to factor out that coefficient of my x squared so that I can complete that square. So I'm going to get 9 times x squared. And then again, I'm grouping that with my 72x over here. So I'm going to take the 9 out of that 72 by dividing. So 72 divided by 9 will give me a minus 8x. And then I'm going to leave my room to add in my number to make it a perfect square. Then I'm subtracting y squared. And this is equal to negative 135. And leaving room for the number that I need to add to balance out my two sides. Next, what I need to do is I need to figure out what number I'm adding in here. So remember, I take this number, the middle number here, the b, divide it by 2, and square it. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Squaring that will give me 16 to go in here. And then if I add 16 on this side, I have to remember that it's also being multiplied by this 9 that's on the outside. So 16 times 9 means I'm adding a total of 144 to this side, which means I also have to add 144 on the right side. Then I can go ahead and complete my square. So I have 9 times x minus 4 squared. And if you forgot, to get this x minus 4, I'm taking the square root of the x squared to give me x, bringing down the first sign, and then taking the square root of the 16 to bring it down here, which is 4. Minus y squared equals, and then I'm going to add negative 135 and 144 to get 9. And then from here, I need to remember that with my hyperbola, my right-hand side should always be 1. To make that 1, I need to divide everything by 9. So I'm going to go ahead now and divide everything by 9. And I get my answer in standard form of x minus 4 squared over 1 minus y squared over 9 equal to 1. And then from here, I can go and do my foci. In order to do the foci, I need to know which formula I'm using. Remember, we have two choices. We have this one and we have this one. My x is the one that is first. So if we look at our equations up here on the top, I want to find the equation that has the x first. So this has x minus h squared first, where this one has the y first, telling us that we are using this first graph, this first equation, to find our foci. And with our foci, our equation is right here. It's h plus or minus c, comma k. So the h and the k are coming from our center, and then the c has a relationship down here that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. The a is coming from underneath the x, and the b we're going to find because it's related to what's underneath the y. So if we scroll back up, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write down those equations again for my foci so we have it. So the foci that we're using is h plus or minus c, comma k. So I need to know what h is. H comes from the x part of my vertex. So if I take a look here, my h is going to come from here, which is 4, and my k is going to come from where the y is at, which is 0. So I know that h is 4, and I know that k is 0. And then the other thing I need to do is I need my c value. So c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. A squared is the first one, it's the number under here, which is 1, and b squared is the number under here, which is 9. So I'm doing c squared equal to 1 plus 9. So c squared is equal to 10, and then c is equal to the square root of 10. And then I can go ahead and write in my foci. So I get an answer of 4 plus the square root of 10, comma k, which is 0, and then h minus c, so 4 minus the square root of 10, comma 0. Next, I want you to do the try this, so you can pause it now and unpause it when you're ready to check your answer. If you did the try this correctly, you should get foci of -2, comma 3 plus the square root of 29, and you should get -2, comma 3 minus the square root of 29. If you have any questions, let me know.